Good evening, YouTube. We're going to try this one again. So, I am bringing you basically a Let's Learn. I kind of wanted to do like a Let's Play, but it's going to be a bit more of a Let's Learn. So, with the brand new Genesis Impact coming out next week, I thought now would be a good time. I've just been testing this myself. I've been playing around with the build, trying a couple of different options. So I thought now would be kind of cool to do some digital test hands to kind of show you what Magisters are, what they can do, the engines that work best with them, why they work so well, and pretty much just show you some test hands and combos. But as we're doing test hands and combos, not only will I be learning the deck, you guys will be able to learn it alongside me as well, and you'll be able to say, oh, you know, try this or do that, and then, you know, learn as we go. But the deck itself, as you can see in front of you, it can't really be played pure right now. Now, there is the Invoked engine, and of course there's the Dogmatica engine. Now, the Dogmatica engine is a little bit better, purely because it just instigates more control, more stun play. Whereas the Invocation engine, the biggest issue with that is the only way you can kind of get this to work well in conjunction with the rest of this is you literally need to have the ability of getting to this Tris Magistus, which basically allows you to special summon an additional spellcaster. Now, the issue with that is, obviously, Alistair only triggers on normal or flip. So this is only useful by special summoning a Magister. That then allows them to go full combo, whereas the Alistair won't do that. So, like, you normal summon the Alistair, you're only going to be able to go so far. You're pretty much going to do just standard invoked combo and then follow it up with the back of Dogmaticas. However, that's kind of the reason why it's only in the sideboard here. Another option as well is the Spellbook engine. I really don't like the Spellbook engine. I've kind of opted to go for Desires. I'm testing this out at the moment. The one-offs of these here, this is the only one really. Schism and Punishment I'd be massively worried about losing. But ultimately I'm not really too fussed. So the reason I kind of went with that is purely because Knowledge required some board setup, it required some plays, and it was really, really difficult to kind of just do that, whereas Desires is just, you have it, you play it, you get it. I've already learned this guy is like a one-card combo to anything. You can play a lot more rank 4s in the extra deck as well, which is something that I'll be looking at doing. I looked at Chocolate Magician Girl to play Shark and Toad, and one of the biggest issues with the extra deck is it is quite tight. Like, there's a lot of this that you have to be very, very careful of. Because you're going to burn through it. You're able to recycle it with the Omega, but you're only going to be able to get Omega with either hard summoning it, or you're going to be sending it off in the Dear Servant. And ideally, your first cards you want to send off in the Dear Servant are going to be Apocalypse and then Titaniclad. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to take you through a couple of test hands now. Save the deck just to make sure I've saved it. And we're just going to do some digital test hands now. I don't know how good the stream is, but I am recording this as well, so we're not going to do any duels of it yet because I know a lot of people don't like playing with pre-release stuff. But in this test hand that you can kind of see in front of you already, so I've got the Spell Power Mastery. Now, we play this to search us out the Magister Master of Endymion. Now, annoyingly, in my test hands before this, I was finding it so difficult to try and get like multiple Magisters to the hand, and now apparently I'm able to do it. Or I was struggling to get the Endymion. But anyway, we're going to activate the Spell Power Mastery in general. This will either bait out an Ash, or of course it will just allow us to deck Finn as well. So that's kind of the reason why we'll do that. And we've got the Maximus, which is really, really cool. But like I said, the Master Endymion is a one-card combo on his own, which is really, really good to get you into any rank 4. And the fact we've got Maximus is going to allow us to extend even further. So what you're going to do here is you're going to normal summon your Master Endymion. Now, the worst thing that's going to happen here is your opponent imperms this, and if they do, your turn pretty much ends, which really, really sucks. Which is what the issue is this deck really heavily relies on the normal summon. Like, it has to get the normal summon to go through. If this does get hit, you'll be turning it into Link 1, and then you'll be hoping that Punishment and Imperm can protect you. But, you know, disappointingly so. We'll play it as if it doesn't happen, and we kind of get lucky on this. Yes, Roll Trap Virtual World is better than Magisters, in my opinion anyway. So the way we're going to work with this one is you're going to use Mighty Masters of Endymion's effect, and that's going to allow you to equip. So you target a Magister monster you control himself, and you equip one from your extra deck to it. So you're going to be equipped in it with the Maiden Artemis. Now, Maiden Artemis is, if it is an equipped monster, so while this card is equipped to a monster, you get to add one Magister monster from your deck to your hand. So that is going to allow us to, oh, not that, search out our only special summonable, like our only monster that can special summon itself, and that is basically Mini Alistair, which is obviously Crowley. So by adding the Crowley, what Crowley can do is he can send any spellcaster from your hand to the graveyard, or face up on the field, and you get to special summon this card. So it does allow you to send. This doesn't technically count as a monster. I'm pretty sure it counts as a spell and trap, but it doesn't matter what you send because you'll get to add it back anyway. So you get a special summon down Crowley, and we're going to send the Maximus to the graveyard. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to use Master Endymion's effect. Hey Semp, I'm all good, man. How are you? To send Maiden Artemis to the graveyard to let us draw one, and then we put one back to the bottom of the deck. Now I'm going to put this, which is the invocation, to the bottom of the deck. You only play one of it. It's not really useful. But obviously, if I did get something a bit better, like punishment, not dogmata or anything like that, I would have gone from that. Yeah, Maris's are dirt cheap right now. Any of you watching this pre-recorded, I'm just talking to the online chat. But yeah, then basically from this point, what you're going to do is you're going to overlay these two. And you're going to go into... Well, I say he's a one-card con one, he does need a discard. But what you're going to do is you're going to go into the Magistus Goddess Niraru, and she's going to use her effect and detach Crowley to target a level 4 spellcaster or higher in your graveyard, which is going to be Maximus. We're going to add it back to our hand. Now, we've obviously got the Link 1 in graveyard already, so what we can do is we can special summon Maximus by banishing out the Artemis. Maximus effect will then go off, and the first card you want to send is your Apkaline, and the second you want to send is your Titaniclad. Now, obviously, Apkaline will go off now, and it will let you add your Shaddoll Schism. So you add one and ditch one. So I'm going to ditch this to the graveyard now, our Mighty Master. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to set the Schism, you're going to set the punishment, you're going to set the Imperm, and then in the end phase, Titaniclad's going to go off. And what you're going to do with Titaniclad is you're going to special summon in defense your Ecclesia, and Ecclesia is going to add you your Philides or Philides to your hand. Grinding out coursework. So, from this board at the moment, what we've got is we've got a card that can't be destroyed by extra deck monsters, we've got a 3k booty, we've got a 24 booty, and then we're backing it up with a Schism, which we're going to be able to quite easily, there you go, just those two there, is going to get us a Winder during our opponent's turn. And as long as we do that first, then Punishment will then be able to send an Inst and pop 2, or it can send an Omega and recycle something, entirely up to you, and then you've also got the Imperm as well. And then on top of that, you've got Philedes or Philedelis, or however you want to pronounce it, that's going to be dropped on your opponent. So yeah, I'm going to reset this one. We'll do another test hand as well, just to kind of show you how consistent the deck is and how it rolls. So again, actually a really, really nice hand on this one. This is probably like the best hand you'll ever see in your life. So you activate the Trimagist. Now the Trimagist lets you special summon a spellcaster. So you're going to special summon in attack mode. Oh, hello. Special summon in attack mode your Magister Master. Now obviously you can try and bait out hand traps by using souls and all this beforehand, but you know it doesn't really matter right now. Your Mighty Master of Endymion's going to use his effect. He's going to equip your Artemis. Oh, not overlay. He's going to equip your... Get back here. He's going to equip himself with Artemis. You're then going to use Artemis' effect because it's become equipped, or because it is equipped, to search you out a Magister card. Now, monster, sorry. So you can search out Veer, and Veer will get you a Magister spell and trap, but we've already got the Magistus. So there's not really anything else, in my opinion, that's worth searching. So the one that I would go for would be the Zora, because Zora is actually able to special summon. So when he becomes equipped, or when something becomes equipped to it, And he can use the same effect as well. He can target one Magister monster you control, equip one Magister monster from your extra deck to it. If this card becomes equipped with a Magister monster, you can special summon one level 4 spellcaster monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. So the best thing is you can actually special summon out Ecclesia, use her as rank 4 material, and then get her back to your hand later on. So you don't even need to worry about that too much. So what we're going to do here is we're going to special summon down the Crowley by sending Ecclesia to the graveyard. Now what this will then allow us to do is we're also going to use Master Endymion's effect to send Artemis to the graveyard, and we're going to draw one and then put one to the bottom of the deck. So you can put any of these to the bottom of the deck if you want. To be honest, right now Magician's Soul is overkill because all Magician's Soul is going to do, we're going to put the Schism back to the bottom of the deck anyway because I'm going to search that later on. Yeah, so then what you can do from here is you can overlay these two, and this is going to get you your Artemis. Oh, not your Artemis, sorry. Your Nin. I'm just going to call it Nin. Nin is then going to detach your Crowley, which is going to allow you to add... Oh, no, we don't want to do that yet. Sorry. Do we want to do that yet? I suppose we do. Yeah, fine. Which is going to allow you to add Ecclesia back to hand. Now, obviously, what you can do is you can normal summon your Zora. Zora can then... Do I want to do this? Actually, I don't think I do. I'm going to leave this in the graveyard. So what I would have done before I detach that is you actually special summon Souls. Because then what Souls will do is Souls will send Maximus to the graveyard. Then you detach to add Maximus back to your hand. You can use Souls to send this to the graveyard. It's not really doing anything. To draw one card. We've still got our normal summon. So this is where you now normal summon your Zora. Zora can then special summon back any level 4. So if you want to, you can bring back your Ecclesia. But if you don't bring back your Ecclesia, you can bring back your Crowley. Which means you can make any rank 4 you want, or another option that I'm looking at doing as well, but you need your Artemis in the graveyard for the Maximus, is you would make Savage. So the only other way that I would suggest doing this is because you still need to get this equipped to special summon a card. So which he can do himself. So what you want to do is you want to go like this. You want to equip it with basically any of these. So actually I'm going to do this one. So we're going to equip it with a Saint. So move this here. And then what you can do, because this has come equipped, that's then going to special summon back any level 4. It can bring out the Master, but I would hold on to the Master if I were you, because you've got more plays next turn. And then what you're going to do this is you're going to sync these two together. And that is going to let you special summon out Savage. Now I know it's not a lot, but Savage is then going to be able to equip this, which gives Savage... Let's give it a sheep token, shall we? Can I move a sheep token? Oh, no. No. No, that's what I want. I wanted this. I wanted this. God, you can tell that I'm not... There we go. Cool. Get there eventually. So this then gets the token, or the counter. And then you've got your Maximus play. So Maximus can now special summon in defense by banishing your air. There we go. And then what Maximus can do, Maximus will send 2. So again, you're going to send your Titaniclad and you're going to send your Alkaline. Al Capone. Al Capone is then going to add... Where are we? It's going to add the Schism. Ditch the Mighty Master. You don't really need it. Like, Schism's so much better right now. You're going to set that. And then the end phase Titaniclad's going to go off. Now, you've got one or two ways of doing this. But it's probably the best way of doing it is you're going to special summon your Ecclesia. Ecclesia effect's going to go off to give you your Fidelis, or Fidelis, however you want to do it. And then, of course, you've got your Schism. Now, obviously, by adding the Fidelis, one of these needs to go. Another option you've got is if you actually link this away, link Souls away before you do any of this and go into like a Link Karibo or something, then move this out of the way. You've then got the ability to make Winder here. And then by doing so, it doesn't really free up a space. You still need the decklist, but it just gets rid of souls being a dead card. But it just gives you a couple of options. You can see that again. You've been able to build up a pretty decent board. So I'm just going to reset this again, and we'll do another test stand. Right, so I'm just going to quickly read the chat. So all of you watching the pre-recorded, everyone's learning virtual worlds at the moment. Player deck is with the Dogmatica Shadow engine, and Pot of Disparity is good in this deck, I think. But I have a question. I decided to move away from Dark Magician. I started building Eldritch Numeron Dragoon. I just wanted to know your thoughts on it. S0, I agree with Thomas. S0 is probably going to get banned. But yeah, I have to ban S0 before the Utopia stuff comes out. Yeah, so it is what it is. I think Eldritch will start going second. Eldritch are an incredibly good control deck. The fact they kind of disappeared was quite funny. How they just like lost the synchro engine, then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, cool. I think Numeron's why they're cheap is worth getting. I don't see the Dragoon engine being hit right now. I honestly think on the ban list that we get in hopefully next week, we'll probably see the ban of Smoke Grenade, just because we're all like, again, we haven't really had competitive play, so there's not easy direct ways of going ban this, ban that. So the only thing you can really look on is what's going to sell the next product, which is going to be Blazing Vortex, and what is a degenerate card. Now, to me, VFD, especially with Virtual Worlds now out, VFD, Zexal, and Smoke Grenade are degenerate cards, because they stop you playing the game, and they're very, very hard to deal with. Like, to deal with them, you need to either own an Imperm, which is still unbelievably like a £20 card at base, or play Chalice, which not a lot of people play. So if you can't do that, and I know that a lot of people are actually ways of either making 2 VFDs or ways to protect the VFD, so stuff like that. I think if Konami were looking at it on a point like that, they'd probably also bring back Electromite, maybe, because I mean Pendulums haven't really done a lot. And if they want to try and promote the Metal Foe support, which comes out in the new year, then that would be one big way of doing it. It'll also make Triff super happy. So that's one other thing that I see could possibly come back. Arguably, you could see Colossus come back, but then that kind of contradicts the whole point of let's get rid of stuff that's degenerate, in the forms of just don't let you do one thing and they're nearly impossible to get rid of. I don't get it wrong, if Colossus comes back I'd be super happy, but if it stays banned I'm not surprised. There's still that question of will Maxi ever come back. I think, again, I still think that they should have done it before. With these lockdown tournaments and the fact that we're looking that we're going to be in lockdown for at least another month, if not a little bit longer, then Maxi could probably come back, just so Konami could monitor remote duels and see how it's actually affecting the game. And I think they could do that with a lot more cards as well. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think Eldritch itself, Eldritch on its own is a fair deck, yeah. I think it was unfair when it was being abused with, because it was just the synchro engine. It was simple as that. The fact that you could, without using your normal summon, just, yeah, Bustalot needs to go. I suppose Mist Valley needs to go now that they've got, now that you've got the Tri-Brigades. So yeah, I can agree on those. I think anything that's degenerate, that is literally like, open up a side deck card or a card that can, because I mean, even if you open up a card, the worst thing is about the Buster Lock and about everything else is, unless you open up a Dark Rule No More, which is very rare to be in your main deck for starters, or a Droplet, again very rare to be in your main deck, and then some way of dealing with that Buster on the back row, so like a Cosmic Cyclone, MST, Twin Twisters, Lightning Storm, which again is very rare in a main deck, you're not going to get away with it. Miscellaneous, again, as much of not a degenerate card because it's not splashable, but it is a broken card. I agree. I think a Miscellaneous to 1, maybe not banned, maybe 1 or 2 would be fair. I don't think Dinos have done a huge amount lately. I mean, I'm a dino player. I like playing dinos. I don't want to see it get hit, but I think the card's too damn good. Like, the card is just so good. Yeah. Anyway, so this hand is a little bit more not great. This hand, because I can't really get the Magisters going. So what I can do is I can normal summon the Crowley. Crowley goes to the graveyard. This is very, very box cutter standard stuff. This comes into Artemis. I can special summon down the Crowley if I want to, by sending this to the graveyard. So what you'd do is you'd go special summon in attack mode, send this to the graveyard. This can then so Artemis can then use her effect to become equipped to Crowley. Use Artemis' second effect to add a Magister card. Let's go with... I mean, this can revive later on. Doesn't really matter which one you add. So you'd add a Magister monster. We'll go with Mighty Master. And then from this point on, you just go the Dear Servant and just do full combo of this. So you'd send Apkaline. And then you'd go... Oh, we ain't got monster from the extra deck. Dope. It's fine. Let's go Maximus. This would go to the graveyard with special summon Maximus. This would then banish Apkaline. Apkaline would have already added us Schism, which would have been dropped to the graveyard. Maximus will then send Titaniclad and Construct. Construct will add Schism back to hand. We'll then set the Schism, and then we will end phase from Titaniclad. Get to special summon Ecclesia, which will then allow us to add Fledelis. And then that gives us a lockout with Winder, a non-target negate with Fledelis or Fledelis, who cares, and kind of go from there. I could see Harp Horror coming back to 1. I think God of War. Virtual Worlds are fine. They've got new support. They've got future support coming, so I don't think that's really that much of an issue. I think they're going to be absolutely fine. Now we're going to go second on this one, so I'm going to draw a 6th card. I think they're going to be fine. I just think that they're not going to be able to... They're not going to be able... So, hang on, let me do... Because you've got 2 questions there. So, Virtual World, I don't think they're going to be able to pump out VFD as much, but this will be very, very good. Yes, these are technically the same kind of combos, but what this is actually showing is the consistency of what this deck can produce. Now, it does rely on the normal summon, which is the big point of this, but it still gets to do the same thing. It is very cookie cutter of what it does produce when it produces. But the idea is that you've got to try and adapt it to be as good as it can be. So on this one, again, we're pretty much going to do the standard. Special summon this. Send Maximus to the graveyard. Now, if at any point they want to interrupt this, absolutely fine. Don't need to be sorry, Roll Chat. I'm just saying they are. It is quite simple. They literally do the exact same thing every single turn. They're not the most exciting kind of deck, but it's more the consistent factor of the way it works. Now, if you've activated Call by the Grave, great. If you haven't, you send it to the graveyard. You draw 1 card off the souls, even better. Then what you can do for this is you can send this to the graveyard. This will allow you to special summon your Artemis. Then what you can do from here is you can normal summon your Master of Endymion. He can then use his effect to equip Artemis to himself. Now, you could use Artemis' effect to equip her, but I actually want her on board. So I'm going to put her in there. She's then going to use her effect to add any Magister monster. Where are you? So we're going to add this to our hand. The Flame Zoro. We're then going to special summon this guy by sending Ecclesia to the graveyard. Now what we've got in the graveyard, we've got Alicia and we've got Maximus. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use his effect to send Artemis to the graveyard to draw a card. Imperm, a little bit later than Noah. We're then going to overlay these two here. We're going to go into this in defense. Probably should go in attack, to be honest, because we're going more aggression. She will then detach Crowley to then add back Maximus to our hand. And then we're going to special summon Maximus by banishing Artemis. Maximus, again, we're going aggression on this one, so you can send one of the Inces and one of the Al Capones. Oh, don't want to special summon it. I want to put it to the graveyard. There we go. Ince will then pop a card. Al Capone will let us add Schism. There we go. And again, we're going all out aggression, so shouldn't really worry about. We should worry about Nibiru. We're going to special summon down Ecclesia. Ecclesia is then going to allow us to add Fledelis, and then we're going to special summon down Fledelis, or however you want to do it. And then from this point, you can pretty much go ham. But what you can also do is you can banish the Crowley, and Crowley can equip to any of the Magisters Neru, which basically allows a monster equipped with it can make 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. So what that'll allow you to do, I believe, you can only special summon it's one per turn. When a dog you can only use each effect once per turn. But you can basically equip this. I think it has to equip. Does it have to equip to a Magister? Let me just check. Yeah, I have to target a Magister monster. So I can target Neru. Neru can then be equipped with itself. Get to attack twice. And it also allows me to pop back crow if I need to. But the idea is you're going to have 3k coming in here, 2k there, 2k there, 18 there, and then 800 there for pretty much game. And if not, you're setting this, and then they're not breaking this from that point on. Will I be doing a stream tomorrow? I'm not sure. I haven't. My streams are so sporadic at the moment. I really need to get a schedule going. I might do Drytrons tomorrow. Do something like this. If people like this type of video, then I'll do a Drytron video. But I have not decided as yet. Yeah. So again, this is going to be pretty standard of this one. This is going to go to the grave. This is going to allow us. So the Spell Power Mastery is going to get us our Mighty Master to our hand. Now in this scenario, you want to do it a little bit differently. Again, if you get interrupted, you're in a bit of trouble. But you would normal summon your Ver. Ver will then allow you to add your Trice Magister, and you're going to activate the Trice Magister, which will let you special summon one from the hand, which is going to let you special summon down your Master, Mighty Master. Mighty Master's effect is then going to equip Artemis to one of these. So let's move this. Now, ultimately, you don't need to use Artemis because you've already got the Crowley, but you still need another spellcaster. But what you're going to do here is you're actually going to add, because you've got the Magistus or the Virtua, is you're going to add your Zoro to the hand. So we're pretty much going to go like level 4 spam right now. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to special summon down your Crowley. Crowley is going to send the Zoro to the graveyard. And then what you can do is, let me just double check. We've got stuff in the graveyard, so we're good. Is you're going to be able to overlay these and special summon out. Come on. Special summon out your rank 4. What you can then do from this is you can then activate your Virtua Magister, which is going to allow you to special summon back your Zoro, which was discarded off of Crowley. I missed the Magister, so I would have sent one of this. So this would go to grave before that to draw a card. You've then got your Flame Zoro. Now, Flame Zoro, again, is you can target one Magister monster you control. So we're going to target, and we're going to equip with this. So we're going to target himself. We're going to equip him with the air. That will then trigger his effect. You get to special summon a level 4 spellcaster from your hand or graveyard. Now, obviously, prior to all of that, if we didn't draw this, then we wouldn't be going for this, but you would detach one of these to add back a spellcaster. So there's a lot of plays you need to do. But you would then special summon this. Doesn't really need to be an attack, but it doesn't matter. And then what you can do is you can send this to the graveyard, send this to the graveyard. And you're going to go into... You can go aggression, you go Varthram. You can also go into Savage, because then Savage can equip your Artemis. And you haven't even touched the Dear Servant or your Pot of Desires. So then you go Nadir Servant, sure. Send Ints. You can only special summon Ints one per turn, but everything else isn't. So you can send Ints to the graveyard. Oh no, didn't want to special summon it, but you know, why not? To the graveyard. This will give you. You can give you your Maximus. It's entirely up to you. Trying to think where this goes. This will then send an Inst and something else. Yeah, so you'd go with your Ecclesia, because then you're going to special summon down your Ecclesia. Ecclesia's effect go off. You can either add Philadelis or you can add Maximus. I'm going to add Maximus, because I'm then going to special summon Maximus by banishing Inst. Now, if you get nibbed or anything like that, you've got Savage to protect you, but this is just going to be overextension in general. Maximus' effect is going to send Inst, and is going to send Apkaline. Apkaline can then... This is kind of the interesting part, is whether or not you think you're going to survive, if your opponent's going to survive the turn or not. Because if you don't think they're going to survive the turn or not, then you haven't got to worry about Schism. You can just go right or whatever. And then you wouldn't send Apkaline, you would probably send not Inst, Titaniclad. So it depends on where you're going to go with this one. If you're going to send this, and obviously you're going to add the Schism, you can ditch the Schism, or you can activate the Desires. It's entirely up to you on where you want to go with this one. And then basically what you'll be able to do is you can activate Desires if you want to. It's only going to be overextension, but you pretty much got damage on board here. Now, if you're definitely not going to game, and let's be honest, you've already double instanced them, then you're going to get Savage is going to attack, and you're going to kind of be able to go from there. If you've got the Crowley in the graveyard as well, you could attach Ninaru with another Ninaru, and then she could attack twice on monsters. So then you'd be able to clear off like 4 monsters, and then you've got a Savage going in, so you've got 6, 7, 8 there, which is depressingly 1 low. But yeah, then you've got your kind of option to see where you're going with this one. Anyway, again, this is just kind of something a little bit different. I thought I'd try it out while I'm testing this deck out online. I thought I might as well show you guys how it's working, how it's going, and stuff like that from there anyway. But yeah, I hope you like this kind of video. If you do and you want to see more videos like this, then let me know. I am more of a physical tester anyway, so when we do get the set that comes out next week, I will do some physical test hands with this deck as well, and just kind of show you what it can do as we go. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe. Thank you for joining me on the stream. Thank you for watching the pre-recorded segment as well. But until next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe and happy dueling.